Testing is usually renamed assessment to hedge bets against lawsuits, but regardless of the label, test, assessment, or survey, they drive the curriculum, altering the pupil's belief system, often doing so below the conscious level of the child's awareness. Monitoring, intervention, therapeutic counseling, and child advocacy finish the job by deftly pushing parents out of the way. Moreover, under the guise of non-judgmentalism, tolerance, flexibility, diversity, and separation of church and state, the state itself is beginning to dictate beliefs and then to test, that is, judge children on how well they demonstrate acceptance of those new beliefs. A child who's perceived by test analysts to be resisting his parents' traditional viewpoints in favor of state-approved ones may, if the trend persists, be groomed for a position of influence and leadership. If not, it's back to the modern-day equivalent of dog patch for him.
Warning, you are about to enter the reality zone, a place where truth is stranger than fiction, where knowledge is king, where myths are shattered and deceptions exposed. It's a place where the lessons of history are found, and where true life adventures reveal the hidden nature of man. If you proceed, you will not be able to return to the twilight zone from which you came. You have 5 seconds remaining to escape.
Welcome to the Reality Zone. I'm Ed Griffin. By now, almost everyone is aware of the fact that academic standards in American schools have declined drastically since the mid-1900s, when non-traditional teaching concepts were widely introduced. To the casual observer, it would seem that these new concepts and methods have failed, and that being the case, it's mystifying that they haven't been abandoned. After all, why keep doing something that doesn't work? But on closer examination, we find that they do work very well. The problem is, what they were designed to accomplish is not what we expect them to accomplish. We labor under the old-fashioned idea that public schools are supposed to educate and to prepare the student to become a logical, well-informed, and independent unit of a free society. But those who control the educational system have different ideas. Their goal is not to educate, but to indoctrinate, not to prepare students to think and to reason, but to respond to emotional stimuli and to become docile workers in a global socialist society. The reason the new teaching concepts remain in place is because they are highly effective in achieving that goal. There is no one better qualified to tell this story than Beverly Eckman. She is the author of 3 books on this subject. The first was Educating for the New World Order. The second was Microchipped, How the Education Establishment Took Us Beyond Big Brother. And her most recent one, Cloning of the American Mind, Eradicating Morality Through Education. Mrs. Eckman is a professional educator with over 9 years of classroom experience teaching a wide variety of grade school subjects, including English, literature, and debate. She was the science editor for the NASA newspaper between 1974 and 1979. She has been the chief speechwriter for numerous organizations and dignitaries, including the National Council for Better Education, the late Justice of the Supreme Court Warren Burger, and the director of the Voice of America. She created the social studies curriculum called Strategies of Defense, which was formally adopted in Colorado and Texas. Mrs. Eckman currently is Executive Director of the National Education Consortium. And now, speaking on the topic, Why We Need Separation of School and State, Mrs. Beverly Eckman.